On July 21st, 1873, Jesse James and the James Younger Gang engaged in the first successful train robbery in the American West, netting $3,000, about $70,000 today's money, from the Rock Island Express at Adair, Iowa. Notorious Western outlaw Jesse James is best known as a bank robber, but he and his gang were also one of the first bandits to hold up a moving train. After a successful bank job, the gang decided to try and rob a train. They heard word that a shipment of gold worth $75,000 would be transported on the newly built main line of the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railroad. After gathering information on the train schedule, they planned their attack. The James gang pried loose two spikes on the track using a spike bar and hammer. They hid and waited for the train to approach. As the train rounded a blind curve, the outlaws used a rope to dislodge the track, causing the locomotive to derail and topple into a ditch. The crash killed the engineer and a fireman, and also injured a number of passengers, but the rest of the cars lurched to a stop on the tracks. Wearing white hoods to hide their identities, Frank and Jesse James climbed into the express car to look for a safe belonging to the U.S. Express Company. With guns drawn, they forced the guards to open the safe, but only a meager $2,000 worth of gold was in there. The large cachet of gold they expected had been delayed. They took it anyway, and to make up for the loss, the men resorted to robbing the stunned passengers of their money and valuables. When word spread by telegraph about the train robbery, an armed posse were sent to track down the outlaws. Jesse and the gang split up. Reaching Missouri, they hid out into the prairie, forests, and towns. A $10,000 reward was offered to anyone that can capture them, dead or alive. This train robbery shocked the public for its sheer boldness and established Jesse James' reputation as a folk hero and celebrity criminal. And here we are in Adair, Iowa, and this is the site of the first train robbery in the Old West, committed by the Jesse James gang. And here it is. There's really not much here, just what you see. And this is a wheel of an old Western train, not necessarily the train that they robbed. And those tracks in the back are just old tracks. Cite the first train robbery in the West, committed by the notorious Jesse James and his gang of outlaws, July 21st, 1873. Now, can you imagine if this happened today? If this robbery was committed today? It's unbelievable what they did. I mean, it would be front page news. It would be all over the internet. It happened today. Well, here it is. This is the site of the first train robbery out west, committed by the Jesse James gang.